Hey, how's it going, Joker fan? It's your boy, Haha Joker man. And today, we're going to be talking about the Raiders and Browns game. So, there's a lot to be talked about. There's a lot to go over. I actually did a video talking about the Cowboys game going into the Browns game, right? So, didn't post the video. Honestly, completely slipped my mind. I was doing a video and editing for for one of my Madden gameplays for the Team Diamonds promo, and it just completely slipped my mind until Sunday, the day of the Browns game. So I'm gonna address some key points in that video and this video, and just kind of tie everything together. So to not make this video too long-winded, obviously Raiders got demolished against the Cowboys in all sorts of ways, right? It was bad from point A to point B. I stopped watching at halftime because we already know what Geno Smith represents. If he wasn't going to get it going in the first half, it's not going to be any better in the second half. As it is, we know if Geno needs to get into a shootout, 9 times out of 10, we know who's going to win that shootout. So, is what it is on that aspect. But in that video, I did talk about who is to blame for a lot of what's going on. Had some people comment down below who had Tom Brady in it. I don't think Tom Brady has anything to necessarily do with what's going on within the Raiders organization. I mean, he has a little pull here and there, but ultimately it's Mark Davis, it's Pete Carroll, it's Spytech. Like, these guys are running the show. Okay, so, but this was coming off of talking about Chip Kelly and how I feel like Chip Kelly is being scapegoated, which we are going to be talking more about that in a second. But Browns game. So I had mentioned in that video that I did not post that this was going to happen one of two ways. I had the Browns winning this game. The books had the Raiders favored it in this game because I guess Shedeur was starting, and to me this was I wouldn't say it was a revenge game, but it was a look what you could have had moment. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion, I believe that we had through the season that Shedeur was going to be a Raider. It was signs everywhere that if we had the pick, that we were going to pick up Shedeur. And as time went on, it became more and more apparent that wasn't going to happen. And not only did we have other picks to get Shedeur, we could have, instead of getting Jack Besh, we could have gotten Shedeur. And as from what I've seen, I mean, again, all of this is hindsight, but like, Deontay Thornton isn't who we thought he was going to be. And all these picks go by, and obviously if y'all know, like, if the NFL feels any kind of way that essentially if you're too big for, if the NFL feels like you're being too big for the NFL, they'll blackball you for sure. And we know what it was. You know what I'm saying? Shedeur to the Browns and all this crap with Dylan Gabriel and this, that, and the third, bro. We know who's the better quarterback. We just know. Okay? But getting more into this game, in that video that I didn't post, that I essentially said that this was going to happen one of two ways. Either Shedeur was going to have a coming out party on the Raiders, or it didn't matter which way, the Browns were going to win this game on their defense alone. Either way, either which way how you flip it, the Raiders were going to lose this game. And like I said, the books, for whatever reason, had the Raiders favored. Y'all not going to fool me. All right? I already knew the Browns were going to win this game. And it showed. Shedeur did throw a pick, but got sacked once. 1 interception, 1 touchdown. And he was looking good, right? Obviously, the game before against the Ravens, he just got thrown into the game. You know what I'm saying? He probably didn't get a lot of reps with the first string in general because he's not the first string quarterback. He got thrown in and asked to do his best. And, you know, it is what it is. But he obviously got starting reps this time around. Obviously, the Raiders are nowhere near the Ravens. So, you know, it is what it is. Geno Smith sacked 10 times. 10. And would you believe in this game too, if you guys go down to the defense, for those of you that didn't watch this game, you would think, wow, Myles Garrett probably had a hell of a game. Funny enough, right? Myles Garrett had 3 of their sacks, right? Out of, again, 10. Right? Now, is that a good game for Myles Garrett? Yeah, but 10 sacks, it's a lot of fucking sacks, right? So, here's the funny thing, right? Genty, 17 carries, 50 yards, and, Tyler Lockett had a deep pass thrown to him, dropped. Genty got a touchdown for us in receiving game, and, I mean, Max came out, did what he could, no sacks. I think who was it that got a sack? Malcolm Kuntz. Wow. Finally, right? But doesn't matter. Regardless of all of that, right? As y'all know, or don't know, Chip Kelly is obviously fired. Now, I had talked about this already, and I'm going to reiterate my point to it, right? I'm doubling down on this point. Chip Kelly is not the reason on why the Raiders aren't doing what they're supposed to do on offense. He's not. Chip Kelly is a play caller, right? He has no control over Geno Smith's reads, or what he sees or what he doesn't see. He has no control over the O-line. None. If there's an issue going on, like there was in the beginning of the season, between whether or not who should start between JPJ or Alex Kappa, he has no control over that. Zero. Right? I'm pretty sure, and y'all can let me know if I'm tripping, but if I'm an offensive coordinator, I don't control my quarterback getting sacked 10 times. I don't control my quarterback having the most picks in this NFL season, or second the most, whatever, between him and Tua. I don't control that. All I can do is play call. I'm pretty sure if you were to ask Chip Kelly, is Geno Smith your guy? The answer would be no. Geno Smith is nobody's guy but Pete Carroll. Once again, as Raider fans, we knew Geno Smith wasn't on the radar for us at all. This came to a shock to everybody. We thought somebody out of free agency we were going to get. Bare minimum trade. I mean, hell, even the conversation of Russell Wilson came in before Geno Smith, and then out of nowhere, Geno Smith is now the starting quarterback for the Raiders. So, with all of this, I mean, I can see a scapegoat a mile away, right? We fire the special teams coach, right? Special teams hasn't been an issue all season, except for one game. And he got fired because of it. Really? Okay. We fire our offensive coordinator. Now, whether or not y'all agree or disagree on my take on whether or not how much control Chip Kelly has over Geno Smith or whatever the case is, and yada, 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 right? Fact of the matter is that no matter how you flip it or turn it, Chip Kelly is not calling these plays to get picked off. He's not calling plays for Geno Smith to be sacked 10 times. Right? But when Geno Smith is throwing all these picks, right? He's not getting bitched. You know what I'm saying? Again, in my personal opinion, when it comes down to it, Chip Kelly was just the easiest option to get rid of. Why? Because Geno Smith is your head coach's guy. And that lies the problem. Right? To an extent. So, if you guys don't know, Geno Smith he did, because it was on film, caught in 4K, flicking off fans. Right? Which is grounds to pretty much revoke his contract. Now, this doesn't necessarily need to happen, right? some players sometimes just get suspended. We've seen just with the situation with Jamar Chase, him spitting on Ramsey, right? Got suspended for it, right? And this could easily end up being that situation, but yes, his contract could be voided. And if I'm Mark Davis, I'm doing it. If I'm Spytek, I'm doing it. Why? Because for one, this is disrespectful to the fans, right? Because if y'all didn't see Geno Smith's press conference after the game, it's very it's a very Tua-esque press conference. And man, he's on some bullshit, right? He really is. And if I'm Mark Davis and I watch that, I mean, Geno, there's no way that you can sit here with the most picks in the NFL right now and expect fans to rally behind you. You got to give the fans something to be proud of, and you haven't. Honestly, the best thing you could have done at this point, right? And in my opinion, it should have been after the Bears game. After the Bears game, I'm sorry. It should have been then. You should have removed yourself as starting quarterback. You should have went to Pete Carroll and said, look, I can't do this. I can't get the job done. I'm not the guy you thought I was. I cannot come out here and perform to my best of my ability, and I don't know why. Even if you know the reason why, explain it, but honestly, it don't matter to fans. It really don't. And it should have been that in itself. That would have been the best take for you. But then to come out and to get upset at fans, I mean, do you really think fans would be upset if you were winning us football games? Come on now. Like, let's be realistic. So, it's a bad look. It's a very bad look. But at the end of the day, it really does come down to what's going to happen next. Right? Because the funny thing is, and it's not very funny at all, but it seems like everybody is getting fired and everybody is have to put their feet to the fire except Pete Carroll and his son, who are the root of this problem, right? And here's the thing, right? Here's the kicker. I cannot tell you on how bad of a coach Pete Carroll is, because as it is, Pete Carroll, in my opinion, ain't going nowhere. He really isn't. But I can tell you that if we're going to be in the business of firing coaches, Pete Carroll's son needs to be next up. This power that Pete Carroll has, this undying loyalty he has to Geno Smith, all of this needs to come crumbling down. And Pete Carroll just needs to coach football. Period. This is no longer your team, Pete. You are just coaching. That is it. Whether it's Spytek that needs to take over, whether it's Mark Davis that needs to be more hands-on, whether Mark Davis needs to extend some power to Tom Brady, so he needs to be more hands-on. Whatever the case is, Pete Carroll can no longer be hands-on no more. He has no control in the draft. He has no control over player personnel, nothing. All he does is go out there and coach. Make sure everybody's watching film. Make sure everybody's prepared going into next season. Going into the next game. You have no more say-so in who starts and who doesn't. Because while we're sitting here firing OCs, firing special teams coaches, we got a quarterback here, right? Most picks in the NFL ain't even gotten benched. While elsewhere in the NFL, we got quarterbacks getting benched for a whole lot less, right? Between Jake Browning and the Bengals getting benched for Joe Flacco coming in, from Joe Flacco getting benched by Dylan Gabriel, from Russell Wilson playing like shit and getting benched by Jackson Dart. The list just keeps going on, right? So and keep in mind, none of these quarterbacks that I have listed, right, have the most picks in the NFL right now. Hell, even Justin Fields got benched recently for Tyrod Taylor in this week that just passed, right? Just for them to lose anyways. So it doesn't matter which way. The Jets are just a dog shit organization altogether. They got no wide receiver help. It's bad. It's really bad over there anyways. So it really doesn't matter. But keep in mind, Justin Fields don't have the most picks in the NFL currently. But he got benched. Yet Geno Smith comes out here game after game, right? And again, this one, I'm not gonna lie. It seems like after the bye week, it seems like Geno Smith ain't playing as ass as he was in the previous week. Yeah, he threw a pick, but it hit off of Genty. Genty should have caught it. Ball popped up, it got picked in the Broncos game. Okay, whatever. All in all, though, it seems like Geno is not playing as ass as he was before the bye week. But regardless of it, this is a team problem altogether, right? It's the coaches too, right? Geno should have been benched, right? But not just that. This whole issue with Pete Carroll and his son scheming on JPJ about, oh, well, Alex Kappa is the guy. Really? Really? Since JPJ got injured, the interior of pass rushing that has happened to the Raiders is up so much. It is up way higher. I'm sorry, but when JPJ was out there on that unit wasn't giving up 10 sacks. But Alex Kappa's the guy. Alex Kappa was the guy that y'all was trying to push over JPJ, and that unit is giving up that. Too much power, too much ego, too much whatever it is, nepotism, whatever you want to call it, it's too much. And there needs to be a change, a big change going into next season. I'm not saying that Pete Carroll needs to be fired. I wouldn't mind it. But the odds of it happening, especially with how they're firing scapegoats, right? Trying to keep the problem away from Pete Carroll and his son, and Pete Carroll and his crew, and Geno Smith, and Tyler Lockett, and all this other crap. The amount of BS that's going on with the Raiders right now is at an all-time high. And if it doesn't change going into next season, you can best believe you're going to see more of what's going to happen this season happening next season. So, with all of that being said, Mark Davis, this is your chance. You have an opportunity to void Geno Smith's contract. I'm going to tell you like this, and I'm telling all Raiders fans like this, right? It can't get any worse. You can probably lose games. We'll probably still lose games without Geno Smith. But I put any amount of money on it. Whatever quarterback we have there ain't going to throw nearly as many picks as Geno Smith has. Because a lot of these games were winnable and Geno Smith shit the fucking bed. So Mark Davis, this is your chance. You have an opportunity because of what Geno Smith did to himself. You have an opportunity to void his contract and get his ass up out of there. You have an opportunity to, since we're scapegoating coaches, you have an opportunity to get Pete Carroll's son out of there also. Get everything away from Pete Carroll and let him know you are here to fucking coach. And that is it. You're not here to rebuild your family that you had in Seattle. That's not what you're here to do. You are here to coach the Raiders. And right now, Geno Smith is playing like ass, and you've done nothing to get him out of this situation, to bench him or nothing. You're not doing anything to help the Raiders. You're doing everything to help him and yourself, to try to instill confidence in a quarterback that is dog shit. Start breaking down these walls around Pete Carroll and let him coach. And that's it. And then keep in mind, that's if we don't get rid of him. Once again, I'm not opposed to getting rid of him at this point at all. But if we don't get rid of him, y'all need to get rid of all these amenities, all this favoritism, all of this, all of it. Get rid of all of it, right? All this BS with Geno, get rid of Geno. All of this nepotism with his son, get rid of him. Everything that he brought, Tyler Lockett, get his old ass out of here. Get everything Seattle Seahawks related. If it's only going to be Pete Carroll, fine. Let it only be him. All this Seattle Seahawks shit, leave all that shit in the past. It's done. You got 2 more years on your contract, Pete Carroll, with an option for a 3rd one now. If we're going to make all this work, it's going to start next season. And we're not going to start next season the way we started this season. We're not doing it. So Mark Davis, you got yourself some options, buddy. Because if not, guess what? Guess what the fans are going to go to next? Your ass. Because you're sitting by letting it happen. Right? You're sitting by letting this team, letting Max Crosby years go to waste and all this stuff. It's ridiculous at this point. It really is. And what is he supposed to do against the Bears? Or against the Browns? Yeah, at least Geno Smith didn't throw a pick, but once again, is it Pete Carroll's fault that Geno Smith got sacked 6 times or 10 times? No, it's not. I will put my money on it that it's on the O-line coach not getting these guys ready. But we're willing to scapegoat Chip Kelly. I got you. Like I said, if Pete Carroll's going to stay and do his tenure here, these things need to be stripped away from him. Because with these things here, it does not make him any better of a head coach for this team. So get rid of him. He has not earned the right to ask for his son, to have his son coach with him. He has not earned the right to determine whether or not who should be starting and who shouldn't based on his judgment this year. He has not earned the right. In my personal opinion, he needs to be stripped down to the bare minimum. The only thing you need to be doing, Pete Carroll, is doing what you gotta do in practice. Make sure these guys are watching film, and make sure whatever product that whoever puts out there, whether it's Spytech, whether it's Brady or whoever else, make sure whatever product they put out on the field, that you get these guys ready. But you no longer get to put that product out on the field. And if somebody's playing bad, if somebody's playing poorly, you can have an opinion, but you cannot be judge, jury, executioner on who gets that starting role at whatever position is out on that field. So if Geno's playing like shit, you don't have to say so. And whether or not he continues to keep playing like shit week in and week out, he gets benched right away. You put somebody else in that wants to be here, who wants to get the job done. This ain't fucking Seattle, bro. And I'm so sorry that I'm getting out of character about this stuff, but like this is the type of stuff that pisses me off, bro. I'm the biggest football fan. I'm the biggest football fanatic, and both my fucking teams are absolute fucking dog shit. Between the Dolphins and the Raiders, I gotta watch 2 terrible quarterbacks battle it out between who's getting the most picks in the NFL. Those are my quarterbacks. I got a head coach in Miami who honestly should just stay on OC. Great offensive mind, can't head coach worth a fucking lick. And I got the exact same issue in Vegas right now. And both of them are putting faith in quarterbacks. It doesn't even make sense. Does not make sense. You both have quarterbacks who have top of the list. Most picks in NFL. And neither one of you are benching these idiots. None of y'all. Y'all just sitting back, kicked up with an iced tea in your hand, watching these idiots throw picks and lose games. And like everything is okay. Y'all let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. Y'all let me know who the next domino is to fall, who's going to get fired. I'm out there. Peace.